Oh, hi there. It's the 21st of July, 2025, and it's episode 323. I was going to try and do whatever. The Should I Play This Game podcast, and with me, as always, Graham Punks.
Hey Steve, how are you going?
Oh, yeah, right. Bit tired, but all right. I was this close to cracking a second energy drink. I literally looked up on Google, how long does caffeine last? And how long does 160 milligrams of caffeine last? Because I got to get up. By the time this comes out, I'll have had to have gotten up at 6 o'clock to go back to work, and I am nowhere near in a sleep schedule ready for that. I tried setting alarms for the last 5 or 6 days. Every single time it went off, I just went stop and went back to sleep. Sometimes for a couple of hours, so that's possibly problematic. But yes. Other than that, usual. I have a question for you, and I don't know the best time to act, whether it's now or at the beginning of the end or whatever. So, have you seen the let's call it controversy? That's probably the best word for it. Around the new Everybody's Golf game using quote unquote AI to generate leaf and grass textures.
No.
Yes. I don't know how to feel about that.
You're going to have to give me way more information than that.
So on the Steam store page for the new Everybody's, I think it's Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. Yes, no punctuation there. There is AI-generated content disclosure. Some game textures were generated using generative AI. That's a lot of usage of the word generated. With supervision and revision by the developers, details of the usage can be found below. Tree and leaf textures in the golf course were created using AI-generated images. And now people, I've seen, at least when that first went up, people were losing their shit. And why are you using this shit, mama?
I mean, considering most of the game engines that would generate that stuff anyway are doing it through some sort of algorithm of some sort, which is the fucking same as AI.
Yeah, isn't basically Speedtree is some form of, would be technically a form of AI, wouldn't it?
Essentially, yeah.
Because the way the term's used is almost something of a misnomer as far as I'm aware, because it's just large learning models more than anything. But generating I don't know. I was curious what you might think of that, but I probably should have prefaced that by asking you beforehand.
Yeah,
might have been a good idea.
It's non-issue.
Non-issue
for that kind of AI use. I think it's perfectly reasonable to use AI.
If it's being overseen and it doesn't replace someone's job and shit like that.
And if it's making someone's role easier so they can get on to doing other stuff which does involve their skill set more. I mean, I personally don't give a rat's ass what the fucking grass looks like. It looks green, looking at the screenshot.
Yeah, you can just basically be a flat shade of green for all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, looking at some of the animated GIFs that are playing on the store page, you're not going to know what this fucking AI generated.
That's just it.
It's a non-issue.
I also didn't consider thinking about it. Speedtree is in and of itself some form, technically, if you want to break it all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, AI
is kind of AI.
It is. AI is an algorithm. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So algorithms can be used to do a lot of stuff and have been doing it for fucking decades.
We talk about artificial intelligence in video game enemies and the things like that.
Yeah.
But AI, this generative shit.
We've now put this AI term on it, and everyone's losing their fucking marbles.
That's because it's not.
It's not new. It's not new.
No, it's not that.
But where it
the
can
generative
be used,
models,
where it can be used, is different. AI is getting to a point where it can be used in other areas that it couldn't before. Yes. But it is still just essentially algorithm written by somebody that's designed to do what it's doing. I mean, it's nothing new.
There was stories out during the week of Microsoft. Some of the people let go by Microsoft were not only the designers of Copilot, but those that helped train Copilot. And it's like, God damn. And Copilot being a fucking piece of shit. But anyway, let's not focus on the net. I was just curious what you might have thought about that. But yeah, Speedtree. Speedtree is AI. All
Pretty
caps.
much.
4 exclamation points. Have we reached a title already? Maybe. Keep watching and well, you wouldn't have to keep watching. The title would already be surfaced. What? Oh, god damn it! I fucked it up already. Restart. No. I am of the belief that you have played some video games.
I have.
Oh yeah, would you want to talk about them or nah? Fuck it. I am incredibly curious about your thoughts about this.
So, Every Day We Fight is a game that is out in early access, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm really bad
It
at
is indeed out in early access. I
just play the
haven't
games.
bought it yet, but
Yeah, it's out in early access. It is a... What is it exactly?
kind of XCOM-y, but
It's XCOM, but it's also not. So,
yeah.
you are playing as the 3 characters on this particular piece of screenshot.
Yep.
And I was running through this earlier. The screenshots are current, which is good.
Oh,
So that's basically how the game looks in terms of UI.
is this a function of you doing work on our back end side, or is this a function of the screenshots on?
Now this is the fact that the screenshots on IGDB are good, basically.
I was trying to. I was like, I know it's internet database something, and then I forgot.
We can do both, but yes, this one I've got other games where I've taken my own screenshots, which I'll show later. But
Ooh.
So this is Every Day We Fight. You play as these 3 characters in the bottom left, and you very similar to Road to Eden from a couple of years ago, Year Zeros, and the various other games that developer has made. Between the XCOM style combat sequences, you are controlling the characters either as a group or individually, and you are controlling them just moving around the environment. But when you get
how does that stuff all feel?
When you get into where's the bit?
How's the navigation around the environment feel? Is it like
just standard? Like just moving around with the keyboard. I'm using a controller, so it's fine.
But it works all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's always nice.
It's no different to it's good.
Yeah, it's the first person stuff that gets the really interesting twist.
So when you're in, I'm not sure.
I don't like cats.
They're not showing off the actual combat beyond that, which is a bit irritating. Anyway, so when you do get into combat scenarios, you're doing the standard XCOM stuff. You've got up to 25, I know it sounds like a high number, action points. And moving around consumes action points, reloading, everything you basically do consumes action points.
It's one of those.
It's one of those.
Yep.
But once you get into the combat where you actually are shooting, rather than being random number generation, you actually take first-person control of your character and its weapon, and you are basically doing shooting as if you're from a standing. You can't move left, right. You can't do anything like that. And you're just shooting as if you were stationary and you've got first-person perspective. And it works really fucking well.
I was going to say, so there's no there's no hit percentage. It's you aim, you shoot.
You shoot. You've got per shot will take an action point, so it might be that each one takes 3. So let's say you've got your 25 to begin with. You've moved into a position that took off 15 shots, 15 action points to get to where you wanted to get, where you could actually then get a shot off. And then because it takes 3 shots, 3 action points per shot, you can shoot 3 times. That's basically it.
When you say 3 shots, is that like a burst, or is that like...
No, it is literally 3 shots where you
can
input yourself.
There's another game that's actually... Critic Crossfire that recently came out is very, very... like literally a day after Every Day with Fire, funnily enough. Literally is marketing itself on the same thing. You aim the shot, you take the shot, and it's up to you whether you hit it or not.
So the thing that's really interesting with this one is you've got the standard Overwatch and all that kind of stuff. When an enemy triggers Overwatch, the game camera automatically triggers to that character, and you're now controlling that character in Overwatch.
So you have to take the shot in Overwatch.
In Overwatch, yeah.
Okay. Does it slow down movement or anything?
It does, yeah. It does slow down movement. It's not, like the character, the enemies you're shooting at are moving in I don't know what the speed would be, like not normal speed.
Not real speed, but like maybe 0.75 speed or
like
something.
something like that, like maybe half, 3/4, not too sure. And so in terms of that's basically the gameplay. Is when you get into those action sequences, there's another one there. And they've got the same sort of thing. Like you've got cover, you've got elevation, all the usual stuff you would see in one of these games. But the big difference is, when you're actually doing the shooting rather than writing all that random number stuff, you are taking control yourself and taking the shots, literally.
Yep.
And it works really, really well. Now, it might be that this would work. This wouldn't work if the setting wasn't right, or whether the characters were there. But the thing that's also happening is there seems to be, I'm not really sure how to describe this. There are predefined, I think they're story-based actions where you will not survive as a group.
Oh, okay, yeah, those sort of predetermined story moments. Yep.
And what this game does is it's basically a sort of a time loop game. So
that's right.
So when you reset, it resets and the environment's a little bit different.
Yep.
You've still got the same three characters. They mention in the dialogue, wait a second, haven't we been here before? That kind of stuff.
Okay, so they acknowledge, at least somewhat acknowledge it. That's all right.
They realise that there's something's weird shit's going on. They understand that. So the setting, the characters, it's really, really good so far. It is really good. So it's still in early access. I don't know. I've not looked at their development roadmap, and I don't worry about it now. But it's just really good what they've created so far. The environments look pretty cool. You can sort of see when you're walking through them. You've got the environments are they're good. Like they're not AAA sort of level stuff, but as you're only in them for a few minutes at a time, they don't necessarily need to be. But
is the developer someone that is sort of known?
I don't know.
I'm literally looking at Steam. I could have actually checked that. Signal Space Lab. It's being published by Hooded Horse, who are behind like Manor Lords and a few other things.
Yeah, so they're behind quite a lot of games.
They've got Human Within, which is VR. Monkey Do, that looks all right. Hillbot General and Afterlife, which seems to be that's another VR game. So this is their first non-VR game that's out. They got a few things on the boil. But yeah, certainly seems interesting. You convinced me. I'll put it in my cart.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really good. I didn't think it would work when you go into the first person shooting stuff, but it takes away my biggest gripe against those sort of games, and that's the random number generation stuff. So if you miss a shot, it's because you missed a shot. It's just because you missed the angle, you missed the timing, you missed the predicting where they're going to run to where you're shooting, that kind of stuff. It's really, really good, and the setting that they've created with the story and that sort of stuff is really interesting as well.
Sweet.
So it's I highly recommend.
What sort of does it surface any, for lack of a better term, like distance penalty, weapon penalty, proficiency penalty, anything like that with the guns?
Seem to, it's got the sound XCOM where you've got to be in range of the enemy to have the shot. Yeah. So as long as you move into a position where you can shoot, it does you the lines and that sort of stuff to indicate that.
But you could be within range of it, like with a shotgun technically, but still, because it's a shotgun, only one of the pellets might hit or something.
I don't know if they don't really surface that stuff. I think if you hit them, you hit them. I think
that might be something that's either coming later, maybe.
Yeah, don't know. But that
certainly seems really fucking cool.
It is really, really cool. It's just a really neat idea with having take away that random memory and stuff. And it is as I said, it's a time loop game, so the stories every time you die, like I've not had a chance. I'm not having a situation where all my characters have died. As a part of me just getting it wrong. But there were story situations where that happened to me, I think, obviously, based on the story, doing it, because that's what it is. So, yeah, it is really, really neat. Pioneers of Begonia. This is, if you go onto the old Steam page for this, it will have, I thought they had it on here, but maybe they don't. It's from developers of kind of a stuff they're saying.
Oh,
It's
okay.
basically from people who made The Settlers, and it'll make very obvious why they're mentioning that. Basically, this is a Settlers style game. It's how do I describe it?
It's kind of the Settlers.
It is. I mean, it's in early access,
Mm.
and what I think it seems to be lacking, unless I'm just not seeing it in the various menus. There's no campaign as far as I can tell. So what you're going through is scenario-based
Mm.
levels, and they don't seem to link from one to the other.
There is a campaign coming
Okay, so
in 1.0.
Okay.
There's a roadmap on the Steam store page that outlines what they're doing, and a campaign with main objectives and side quests.
All right, cool. So I'm going to skip to the screenshot I took because it makes more sense. It's got the standard stuff you see. You can lay down roads. You've got similar to the Settlers. You've got the little blue borderline as to where what you can build within, and you can make those areas bigger by putting down guard towers. You've got the standard shitload of things you have to do, kind of stuff.
Balancing
things. You've got all your stuff across the top. You just have to lay down all these huts here. They are huts that are developing more people, as in they're birthing people effectively. And that's kind of where it sort of sits at the moment. So it's a neat little game. I'm thinking at this point I'll probably hold off going back to it.
Yeah.
Until there is something to sort of drive you through the story, for the one about a term. But what they've created is kind of neat. I like it. It's colourful. It's got the standard stuff in it. You've got
colourful doesn't necessarily go astray these days, does it?
No, it doesn't really. But yeah, you got the usual things like you've got you lay down you can't quite see in the screenshot, but you can lay down things like your sawmill that needs to be within the range of trees. They cut down the trees grow back eventually, that kind of stuff. It turns into having a Settlers thing. You've got to have a workshop that can make equipment from the other things that are being collected by the scene. You've got all that sort of stuff. You've got a village, which is the main building. Then that cover art there, or that screenshot. That's where you're training new levels of civilians to make stuff like pioneers and guards and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's got a lot of that sort of stuff in it that you would see.
Is it fair to say it's one of those?
It is, but I at the moment it's not one of those because there's nothing to drive you through from a story perspective. But the mission-based ones are either they're objective-based ones, like you see on the right-hand side, you've got all this settlement progression stuff I'm going to do. I could just say, as long as you get all of the objective in this one, top right-hand corner, you can see there's final Panagonian settlements and befriend all factions. So they are the objectives of the entire mission level, whatever you want to call it. And these are the things you're going through to get to those points. And as you expand the levels and you'll find stuff and you go from there. So from that perspective, it's fairly sort of standard.
Standard's not bad though.
No, as I said, it's not. I like what they've done.
Yeah, if it's well executed, standard can be really entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. But what's missing from this is there's no thing to drive you through
a campaign.
Is what I really would like them to do. But if there's what's coming, that's cool. Next up is a game you and I have been playing. I'm not going to talk about it here. We're talking about it in our videos. We're doing that Split Fiction.
Yeah.
We'll cover it more then than we would here.
It's still good.
It's still really good. Yeah. It is really
I think that's all that really needs to be said at this point.
That's it. We're still enjoying it. We'll still play it. All good.
Powerhoof.
This is an Australian game that I actually played at the 2023 PAX. The last one I went to. It is a adventure game, effectively. It's not point and click, but it probably would be if you were using a mouse and keyboard. I'm using a controller, and I've got complete control of the character, so it's not quite that, but that's essentially what it is. This is fucking awesome. It's a pixel art style game, so you go back to the old LucasArts style games from the 20 years ago, whatever. But the one difference is because it's in a modern engine, it looks a lot more
They can do more shit with like
they can do more
lighting
stuff,
and
like-
stuff like that.
like,
Yeah.
for example, this sort of stuff.
Mm.
This game is quite dark, and I don't mean dark as in it's dark in colour. It's dark in
Like
tone,
narratively.
narratively. You play as this guy here, Mick Carter. I'm actually going to play a bit of audio later because I'd like to see if you pick up, if you had the same thought I had when I first heard this voice actor.
Oh, is this the Brian Brown?
No, you've just well done.
Oh. Well, I still don't. I'd still have to hear it to know.
Yes, but that's would have been what you would have thought. But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, this game has you playing as Mick Carter, and he's basically narrating the entire thing, like what he's doing in terms of things, which I think is really cool how they've done it. And as I'll play a bit of audio in a sec with this.
Does he narrate it as if it's in the midst of happening, or is he narrating it as it's like in past tense?
No, as it's happening. It's really, really
Okay.
cool how it's done. It's got the sound of things. You've got interaction with characters.
This is hell of LucasArts.
Oh yeah. You've got interaction with characters. You have dialogue options with them. You ask them questions around a particular thing, and they will tell you. But it's a story whereby Mick Carter's coming back to a city, which I don't think is actually named in the game. I don't think it's actually named what the city is that they're coming back to. But he's got broken family. Let's use that as a generic term at this point. He's got a strange wife and that kind of stuff. I think he may even. I'm not going to go too much more into the story, but yeah, he's got family stuff that's be generic, very broad and generic like that. And he gets mixed up with something really kind of odd. Some sort of government agency thing is killing off people of the city. Not really sure. But it is quite graphic in death scenes, which is you can't quite see it in this one, but that's my character there. And this thing here killed me with its tentacles, and there's blood everywhere. So it's really
That'll fucking do it.
It's really kind of not gory, but it is, and not really violent, but it is animated violence, whatever you sort of call it.
They don't shy away from displaying sort of violent results of actions and stuff like that.
So it's definitely an adult, angled game. And this scene here from the screenshot here is one that I actually took, and this is sort of the scene in which this audio I'm about to play comes from. And I'm going to see if this actually plays. Hopefully it does. Hear that?
Mm-hmm. Not giving up my only weapon, but I grip the knife. Eye him.
I wouldn't.
Gestures with his gun.
But do what you need to, boss.
I make a dive for the drain. Shots fire wildly through the smoke, kicking mud and blasting chips from the stone wall above. Then I'm through, stumbling through the mud and filth, lit only by the cold flame of the Zippo and the flashes of pursuing torches.
And that's the end of that.
Did you say lid? Lid through?
Lit.
It's almost like a... Hey?
Lit.
Oh, lit through. Okay, I thought it was almost like there's a bit of Kiwi. There's a little bit of Kiwi on the back end of that.
No.
I keep getting Brian Brown and, was it John Jarrett or whatever his name is, from Wolf Creek mixed up? Or Better Homes and Gardens, which is where I know him from.
Yeah, so...
That is really well done, though.
It is really, really done. Like, when I was playing... When I did that in PAX 2023...
Yeah, you said.
I literally turned around to one of the developers. Is that Brian Brown? He said, no.
Do you motherfuckers pay for him?
Did you beat him? No, it's just one of our own developers who's managed to, he's one of the developers who managed to make that sound.
He just really sounds like Brian Brown.
Yeah, it's just the way, that little bit, that's how the game is basically given to you. Like, it's got the standard, not standard, it's got, adventure game sort of puzzle stuff. But the way in which it's narrated and told is just really, really cool. I think the art style looks amazing. When you play it and it's in motion, it's really, really good. It's really good to look at. So, yeah, highly recommend this.
How messed up are the puzzles? Because like LucasArts adventure game puzzles are
they're so far they're nothing like a LucasArts puzzle.
All right.
I thought the LucasArts puzzles in most of their games were so off the
esoterically fucking stupid.
How the hell did you figure that? You can ever figure that out? No, that's nothing like that so far. I mean, I've only played it for a couple of hours, but yeah, it's nothing like those sorts of the puzzles you have in those games. Which I think is good. I mean, it's meaning that the game is really the story as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And that's really the...
And the interactions you have within that story and stuff like that.
It is really, really good. So yeah, I'm glad so far it is, it's doing everything I hope. When I played it at PAX, I played it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Right, I need to stop playing this. I'm not going to... I'm going to wait until this game comes out. Even when the demo came out, like a couple of weeks back, for the demo came out during the next fest, I said, I'm not going to play it again because I want to play it from now. But yeah, it is really, really good. We'll come back to that one because it's on your list as well.
It is on my list.
We'll go to my last one that's on my list, which is Dawn Apart. This is another game that is currently in early access. And probably the big sort of drawing point of this one is the voxel art that it is. In terms of its the way it is, and it's basically. And I should have looked at the screenshots before I looked at them because this is nothing like what the game looks like now. Great. Oh, that's probably closest to it. So this is basically a. I guess technically at some levels it's kind of like a survival game, but really it's Factorio, Satisfactory, all those.
Yeah,
games.
I was going to say voxel Satisfactory. It kind of looks like.
Yeah, so it's a bit more. It's more probably closer to Factorio from that sort of perspective because of the way you actually play it. As I said, these screenshots do not show it off at all. You've got they've got characters that you don't directly control.
Yep.
But you've got essentially you crash. You're not crash. I don't even know if you crash land. I think you just land on a planet that you're meant to exploit. And sort of feeding materials up to the overall sort of
the mothership
kind of stuff. But yeah, like your mining resources either by hand or by machinery. You've got stockpiles which you're storing those things in. You've got spaceports to send the stuff up to the mothership. But when you, in terms of getting materials around the environment, you basically right-click on the iron ore deposit and say mine it, and then someone will go start mining it. And one of the other characters will go pick up the stuff that miner mines and carries it back to a stockpile of some sort. Then they can be, if you then lay down a furnace to turn that ore into an ingot of some sort, they'll carry it from the stockpile to the machine. Then when the machine sticks out the ingot, they'll take it back to the stockpile. So that sort of thing. But you don't directly control the character one by one. You're just saying queue up actions.
You're just laying out general orders and they follow
and the half a dozen or so not NPC level characters will run around the environment doing all the stuff that they need to do. There is in them. I've only just sort of started to unlock it. You've got conveyor belts of some sort that do things, but looking through some of the discussions on Steam, doesn't look like there's a lot you can do with them just yet in the early access. So I played it for probably just under an hour and a half this morning, and it got to a point where I was just continually trading materials up to the mother base, and it kind of got a bit boring.
Oh, okay.
Now,
is that because there might not be the content there to carry?
Either the content's not there yet, and that's where they sort of got to, or I need to get through a couple more of those in the next part of the tutorial.
For the rest of the game to open up,
I don't know yet. So I'll probably keep playing for a little bit longer just to see if that does happen. I mean, visually, as I said, I'll take some better screenshots for next time we talk.
Voxels are neat.
But it does look really neat. Like, that's probably the closest one. It shows how it looks. It looks as sort of voxel stuff to it. There does appear to be indications that you've got to fight animals or enemies of some sort in the game. But
The store page made that indication.
I'm not too sure what that would actually. That's not got to that yet, but that's something that's potentially going to happen. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I like the look of it. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. I'm just not sure that at the moment, with how they're onboarding players to what's available, it's kind of doing what I want to do. So, it's one of those ones I'll definitely keep an eye on. And obviously, I've bought it, so it's on early access. I'll just keep an eye on it until it's
Keep it tucked away.
Keep it away and keep an eye on
Mm.
it. The last one, there's a bit of crossover between your list and my list. Obviously, we've got Split Fiction.
I think this might be the most crossover there's ever been.
Probably, yeah. So this is... Now, I'm not really sure how this is pronounced, but I'm going to say Eriksholm. The Stolen Dream. It is from a Swedish developer, I'm pretty sure.
Based on the word Eriksholm, that's what I would assume.
And it's basically it's Think, Shadow Gambit, Desperados, that style of presentation. But it's not. There's no combat, although there is at this. I've got to somewhere there is actually some sort of combat.
Yeah. Way less. It's like non-lethal combat.
Yeah, it's not the multi-character stuff you would have in a Shadow Gambit or Desperado style game. You basically play. So far, I've played. You play as the character from the cover art, and her name is Hannah. And she's looking for her. At the moment, in the early part of the game, looking for her brother. I'm just trying to see if there's even a screenshot. No, there's not. No, there isn't. Yeah, looking for her brother, who is it Henry? No.
Something like that. That actually might be right.
I think he might be Henry. Anyway.
Henry, Hedrick. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, she's looking for her brother. She's obviously just got sick or just recovered from being sick in the early part of the game, so...
Yeah, they do kind of work off a, let's call it COVID-inspired.
Yeah, basically. I think it's set in probably the 40s and 60s, I think, sort of around that period, I think. So, yeah, they're calling it heart pox, I think is what they've called it in the game, but basically it's a disease that if you get it, you're probably going to die is the main sort of...
Well, it's just chickenpox. You do overhear some of the interaction between some of the characters basically going, oh, it's fuck. Obviously not word for word, but, oh, it's fuck all. It's just a flu. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, God damn.
So, yeah, the game is basically played from this sort of perspective. You control the character. It's purely a stealth game, which is kind of the main big difference between it and the other games that this game is sort of taking inspiration from. I think it's really neat. It looks really cool. It plays pretty well. You've basically got instant fail states if you get discovered, though. So, but the game resets. You don't lose any progress. You might lose a little bit of you've got to walk a couple of steps to get back to where you were, sort of thing. But that's nothing much. But yeah, in terms of just playing it, I've only just got this blow dart. In this particular screenshot, I've only just got it. It looks like there's a second character, so maybe you play as two characters later on. I don't know. You're basically walking through the environment, jumping over gates and stuff, which are hollowed in a sort of a flashing yellow goldy thing to indicate so you can walk over them. You can walk into the really neat thing. You can sort of look through windows to see what's inside a building, to see what you need to do when you get inside it. In terms of getting into cover and stuff like that, and what you've got to do in terms of getting through that area. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. The characters seem really well rounded, like they're great. The cutscenes are really neat.
That scene
really
is
good.
particularly well performed.
Yeah, that one's really good. Which is this is Alva is her name. They've got a history.
Yes.
I suspect that at some point Alva runs some sort of like a pickpocketing little thieving group that goes and stealing stuff for
some sort of resistance-y type stuff too. I get a vibe of that of
something like that. And obviously, at some point, Hannah and Alva had some sort of falling out. Let's say
she's like, "I want out."
Yeah. And then so she's obviously I think this will come back to the minute I played. You have this cutscene and there's nothing more sort of done with her at this point. But
Yep.
so yeah, that's kind of what I think with that one. I think it's really really neat. I think this, as I said, the story's really really good. The cutscenes are really neat. I think the gameplay's pretty solid. The environments they've created are pretty good as well, like what you're walking through and sort of getting through. I think it's really really neat.
So I ended up, I asked you if like, because I was thinking about doing something with the demo for this on stream/video. So I asked you, and you were like, "Nah, hold off. I want to do some." I'm like, "Sweet." So I decided to play the demo anyway, just to see how I'd respond to it, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do it on video, because not that I dislike this, or I don't think that Desperados 3 or any of those other games aren't well made. I just fucking suck at them because it's just like, all right, let's get him. Oh shit, I got caught. I think it looks fucking great. The environmental design graphically looks really, really well done. And the performance is really good, but I think the stealth for me is a little too rigid. The instant fail state. I like being able to go, oh shit, I got found. Bang, stab him.
Yeah, well,
and then I run away and hide.
This game's not ever going to be like that.
No, it is not.
So
I got to the part just after.
I
got to the part just after she gets the blow dart as well. And the last thing I did was I hit one. There were two dudes who came up looking for another guy on a roof, and I'd hit him. I did a successful job of that. I'm like, haha, I'm going to get one of these fuckers on the way down the stairs. Hit him with the blow dart. He falls down, and then I instant failed because a body was found. And I'm like, oh, man. So it's like I can appreciate the craft in the making of it, but I just don't think, for as much as I want to try and get into these things, because I think there's interesting concepts and mechanics there, I don't think I got the brain for it or the patience for it. Like, I think it is quite well written. I do like the navigation and the exploration around the environment. That's really neat. There was a part just before you get the blowgun. I think, where you're sort of hiding in a sort of maze of boxes and different waves of guards come around. Like, getting out of that section was neat and an interesting idea.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough. I thought it was neat for what it was. But yeah, I will leave that to you.
If you're not into those other types of games, this game is clearly inspired.
It's hell of one of those.
It sort of is and isn't. I mean, it's not. It's definitely played from the same perspective. It's got a lot of the same mechanics, but
without the combat.
The combat's what's sort of the multi-character combat is what's missing from this sort of game than what was in the. So it doesn't appear to be at this point, as I've only played it for about 90 minutes or so, of going to what was I can't remember what it was called, Shadow Mode, whatever it was called in those other games, but you actually queue up actions from 2 or 3 characters and they all work together to take down a bunch of enemies. There's nothing like that so far in this game, and I don't think there will be. I think it'll just purely be a stealth game.
Doesn't seem like the sort of story they're telling you.
This character directly, or maybe as a brother and alternating. I don't know what that'll end up being, but I don't know there's ever going to be you're playing as 2 characters at the same time like you do in those other games. But I really
the environmental design and the look of it,
the look of it
very,
is
very nice.
Is awesome. I think it controls well, all that kind of stuff. And I do like the setting.
I did have a couple of times where I clicked to walk somewhere and was thinking either via sort of pathfinding that I didn't consider or whatever, that when I click here, she would walk around a different method, but she walked kind of as the bird flies and literally got swatted. Yeah. And I was like, that's not what I wanted. Oh,
that's why I think playing with the controller is better, because you can directly control the character. So yeah, but no, it's really neat, and I'm looking forward to keep playing that one. That is all I've had. So
intriguing.
Very different set of games I've played this week. I want that button for you.
Hey, that's me. I I think we talked about this last time.
Doesn't ring a
Maybe.
bell. Doesn't ring a bell.
Zombie Rollers, The Last Ship. So there's been 2 zombie. This is the second Zombie Rollers game. The first one was like a roguelike pinball game, almost. This is an arse game.
Oh, okay.
So you have this big ship or craft or tank or whatever you want to call it. You use the right trigger to drive forward, the left trigger to go back, and you're driving around the environment, and the weaponry is shooting off. You can man it with different crew members to like either carry the ammo, get on the gun and reload it quicker, be a medic, mechanic, whatever. This is the thing that I was saying Soulstone Survivors doesn't do, in that it provides different things for you to do beyond just moving around in a circle in an environment, like shooting and picking up experience. There are like the mini map here doesn't maybe do the best job of it because it's just flooded with fucking enemies, coins, and the blue dots are experience. But you can see some stuff around the edges where it's like a little person outline with a little plus sign on it. That's a crew member that's being or a potential crew member that's being attacked that can be saved. Much like most of these sorts of games, there is a timer. Once you survive the timer, that's it. You finish the map. There are boss levels where it doesn't give you an explicit time, but once it starts hitting the 20 minutes, it starts shrinking. The area starts shrinking like it's a fucking battle royale.
Yeah, okay.
And I accidentally found myself outside that a couple times and died. And I'm like, fuck. But like, there's a neat look to it, and it's an interesting hook. It's not just like Soulstone Survivors, I think, is the most egregious example of not taking anything from the Vampire Survivors formula and doing anything else with it. And like Vampire Survivors works because there's all the different combinations. It's relatively tight. It's relatively compact. And the massive number of combinations and things you can find. Whereas Soulstone Survivors doesn't have that. This does. And it was much more engaging. Like you have the ability to edit and think about what turrets you want to have on each placement. So you get 3 that are forward facing, 3 that are back facing, and you just get a bunch of different weapons that you can use.
Looks very not similar, but in terms of what was the one that I played?
Drivelet or
Terra something.
Yeah, Terraform or something.
What was it called?
It is very close to that in, I think, appearance.
Terra Tech or something?
Terratech.
Terra Tech, something like that. Where is it? I don't seem to have put it on a list somewhere. I thought I'd definitely had. Pretty sure
Terratech Legion.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
This is a lot. Terratech Legion, at least from the it's getting, the vehicles get bigger and faster and heavier. That's much more about editing the vehicle and doing different things with the vehicle. The only editing you're doing is individual components. It still roughly controls the same each time.
Okay.
There are some parts that you can add. So there's a back wheel where you like certain back wheels will turn faster, or there's one that makes the ship go a lot slower, but it digs up gold and shit as you're driving.
Okay. Yep.
That one I didn't really like because I didn't like the pace of it. As you're playing through each encounter, you can level up and upgrade the ship components when you get currency. Leveling up gets you the ability of picking perks, and then you can buy other items and stuff like that. I basically played through all the levels, did everything. I've got 1 achievement left, and that's for unlocking all the items.
Is it out or early access out?
It's out.
It's out. Okay. Yep.
Yep. That getting all the items is basically like on a season. Like it looks like it presents itself like a fucking season pass track.
Okay.
Only there's like 150 or 180 levels. I think I got to like 140, and I was like, I don't want to keep replaying these levels just to get this shit. Fuck this, I'm done. But it was a very intense. Like, how long did I spend with it? 13.3 hours. And that was within about 3 days. Including at least 2 or 3, at least twice on video. But yeah, I played a lot of that. That was good. Speaking of things that are good, Skin Deep's fucking awesome. We talked about that last time.
Mm-hmm.
I have finished it. It does some things narratively. And it actually, and this is going to, I think, come into play when I talk about another game a bit later on, but it really trained me in a way that I don't think any other game has, of really being observant of the environment and items in the environment, item descriptions and shit like that. Which actually end up really helping in a different game. But just, like I said last time, the areas are small enough that the layers of mechanics work really, really well and make it super fun to creep around. And then the cats coming out of the box just going, meow, is pretty great too. But I already talked a bunch about this last time, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But I really think people should play it. It's fucking great. Speaking of a game that's fucking great, or another one, Shotgun Cop Man. Basically, this is what if Meat Boy had a shotgun.
Okay.
But
also, it's a puzzle game. I thought it was a first-person game. For
it's like a platform puzzle combat type thing. So it's side-scrolling, very quick. Okay. There's 4 challenges in every level. There's a speed run.
Yep.
Kill all the enemies, don't get hit, and then the 4th one is do all 3 in one run.
Look good. Okay.
So I did that for the entire game.
Okay.
I got all of the challenges, all that sort of stuff, and it took me 8.3 hours. But they added a little an additional bonus campaign based on My Friend Pedro, which is the last game they made. And this thing's super neat. Like the puzzly mechanics. I wish there was a quick restart. That's about the only thing I could fault with it. Because pause, restart, yes, and when you're trying to do that, you kind of fuck that up sometimes. But basically, you're tasked with going to hell to arrest Satan. Why? Shut up! It's video games. That's it. It's really kind of basic, but I think the art style is really appealing. I love the look of it. Like, it wouldn't be something you would put on a best looking or anything, but I still love the look, how it looks. A game like this lives and dies by the feel and the controls, and fucking hell, this thing lives. Like the actual combat is super, super tight, and the navigation is largely so. You got a left trigger for a big shotgun, and then the right trigger shoots whatever gun you've got in your right hand. You can chain 3 main shotgun blasts as your jump, and the navigation is built all around that.
Okay. You don't actually have a jump button, you've got a jump shotgun effectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like if you've got a pistol in the right hand, you can shoot downward and it does a little jump.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas the main shotgun will basically blow you sky high. So the levels are designed both around navigational challenges and combat challenges. So you will get some rooms like this one that's in this screenshot here where it's 20 out of 35. You've got to kill 35 enemies. And then this door will open, you can leave the level.
Okay.
But there's such a range of weapons that make it really interesting and really entertaining. There's like grenade launchers, like sort of weird, almost crossbows that like bounce, where the shots bounce between enemies.
Yep. And
things like that. There's a minigun, which is that minigun was so clutch on the last boss. It took me about an hour to do it without dying, without getting hit. And it was largely the minigun that did it for me. It was great. One of my favorite things about this game, outside of just the white-knuckled laser intensity and the tightness of how it plays, is that in the credits, the word story has quotation marks around it.
Okay.
So the story writer, because the story is literally, the first thing you see is, go to hell, arrest Satan. That's it. There's the story. And every time at the start of each world, it's like, you have the right to remain silent. And then Satan just flips you off and says, fuck you, Shotgun Cop Man. And that's all it does. And it's fantastic. Like, I was playing it like one world at a day for a period.
Yep.
And then I had a day where it was the podcast days of Wednesdays, where a couple of podcasts I listened to come out. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to play this. And I think trying to marathon this, it would exhaust you.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a Devolver joint, of course it is.
Yep.
I think most things Devolver touch are pretty close to gold these days. Not as guaranteed, but it's pretty damn close. Like they put out Mycopunk recently in early access, and I played the demo and I didn't really like that. But yeah, a game I have been enjoying and but probably haven't been playing anywhere near as much as I could/should have. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This is currently one of the top rated games on OpenCritic, and it's like the Summer Games Fest crapping on constantly about the size of teams is kind of the fault of the way this game's been covered, because it's like, oh, it's a 30-person studio, and they managed to create something that's incredible, and then everyone's focusing on the numbers of people at studios, which is dumb. This thing fucking looks amazing. It has a really interesting story, and it's really well written, and it does the sort of turn-based RPG combat, but it makes it active. Some of the windows on parrying in particular can be quite tight, so you really have to be paying attention and watch the animation. So there's just a hint of soulsiness to it, in that, particularly in the parry. But if you get it right and there's a counter that comes out, the counter will fuck up enemies hard. I'm super enjoying it. I haven't been hammering it. Where are we at? Wait, you do that. There we go. 5.6 hours. And I started playing this on one of the holiday hangouts I did. I think I did it last Wednesday, maybe. Not Wednesday gone, Wednesday before in the first week of the holidays. I don't want to speedrun this. I don't want to chew through this at 100 miles an hour, because I'm really enjoying the actual exploration, the environment, the writing. This is a very strong contender already, and I can see why it's been so highly regarded. I'm not going to say too much more about it, because I don't think I've got much more I can say about it, because the story where I'm at is in kind of flux. So trying to explain what the fuck is going on outside of there's a lady or she's called the Paintress. She paints a number on the side of a cliff that this town can see. Everyone that age dies. And you are part of an expedition that is going to, quote unquote, stop her.
Okay.
Magic is involved. And because magic is involved, they get away with doing a lot of fantastical stuff with the environment. So the second main region you go into is basically a fishbowl.
Okay.
But your movement speed or anything like that isn't changed as a result of being in this water.
Okay.
It just does some really incredibly interesting and graphically fucking impressive things. Have a look at that sort of thing. To me, from a technical perspective, that's one of the best looking things. This thing is one of the best looking things this year. What's that? Okay, I haven't fought something like that yet, but yeah, it's things like that. The one thing it isn't is it's not direct controlled action. It is turn-based, but okay. It's turn-based combat, like Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG, or I guess JRPGs were. I never played any of them when I was younger, because I was like, fuck that shit. And now I'm kind of regretting having that opinion, because I'm super digging this. But yeah, it's fantastic. I'm going to keep plugging away at it. My understanding is it's probably 30 to 40, 50 hours. But yeah, I'm not going to try and just absolutely barge through this in the next few weeks. I'm going to savor it. So in the process of savoring Claire Obscure, that means there's been a bunch of smaller games I've played too, including the Duck Detective, The Ghost of Clamping. I have one very important question. Why is the Duck Detective so mean to and about Freddy? He's such a prick. He treats Freddy like shit. I really like how he keeps telling everyone he's a Duck Detective and no one gives a shit or doesn't know. That's hilarious to me. Can you remember Patient 12's end?
I can't remember very little about that game. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the game, and I enjoyed the wrap up way more than the first one.
Yeah,
because the first one had some.
I think this one does a better job in wrapping everything up. Like I think they learned from the first one a lot. I think. Because
the first one, some of the wrap ups, some of the ways that the different floating strings were wrapped, made no fucking sense at all.
How the hell do you get that? That's a hell of a stretch.
Yeah. It all made logical sense. I think the writing is maybe a smidge better as well in sports. I like their formula. They have confirmed that there is a third one, but they're taking a break from that and doing something else right now.
Yeah. I think they'd have to be relatively, because they've got the art style all nailed down. They have to do that every time. Obviously, writing a story is probably with the biggest time sink of that thing, and putting all of the puzzles together is probably the time sink. So, yeah, I can imagine it would be relatively straightforward to tune them out, but I can imagine they could burn off. They could get bored of them quickly. I imagine if they did too many too quickly. So. Yeah.
I only had one achievement missing by the time I finished it, and it was a single button press to make the duck detective quack. I forgot. I thought I'd pressed all the buttons on the controller at some point. Nothing happened, so I just didn't bother and thought it was going to come up at some point. It was really funny. One of the few times reading the Steam discussion boards was actually really funny because there was a thread that asked people who they arrested. And the number of people who went the way I very nearly went and who arrested the third person, despite having no cause to, was really fucking funny. Can you remember who you arrested or not?
No.
Right.
I think I did arrest. I think I did arrest all three of them though. I think I did.
The third guy has no reason to be arrested other than he's an annoying prick.
Well, that's why I think I arrested the fucking prick, because he's annoying.
Like, the first two deserve to be arrested, don't get me wrong. I arrested them. Like, it's really funny, the stats are like 99% arrested the first person. It's like, shit, 28% arrested the third one just because he's an asshole. I stopped myself because I wanted to do the right thing and be the righteous crusader of all that is right, just, and lawful. So I did. I didn't arrest that third dude. I really wanted to, though. Fuck, he annoyed me. Yeah, fantastic. I love the look of it. I think they've added a couple more little lighting tricks and stuff like that. But yeah, what a neat little thing that series is becoming.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Also, Happy Broccoli Games. Great name. No Way Home. How the fuck did I stumble upon this? I can't even remember. To the point where I didn't even realize it came out 5 fucking years ago on iOS. I only noticed it on Steam, and I'm like, oh, wow. Had a look at it, and I'm like, this is dope. I didn't even realize it was Australian. There you go. How about that? So this is a dual joystick shoot. Really? Fuck. Okay, never mind. It's a dual joystick space game.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the Schluter, where you pilot your little craft around different environments or different parts of this galaxy, doing jobs for people so you can find a way home. Because the setup is you are on board a luxury space cruiser that Titanics. It somehow, I can't remember how it freezes, but then as it's floating through space frozen, it gets dinged by a rock, everything crumbles and blows up. And then you manage to eject in this little space pod. You control the flight with the left stick. You control the aiming with the right, and you shoot things. You can shoot civilians. Then they get pissed at you and start firing after you. It's just, again, it's not nothing. It's not earth-shattering. It's not anything groundbreakingly original. Like I said, it came out fucking 10 years ago. 5 years ago. But it's entertaining. And that goes a long way. Not everything needs to be this massive groundbreaking achievement in originality and massive evolution. Like, sometimes just having fun is what games are for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I played this twice on video, on stream. I played the start on a Saturday version, and then I played the last couple hours on a Sunday last week. But that thing's neat. Another thing that's neat, Last Vanguard. So you are the last of the Vanguard recruits, which is a kind of soldier class during this Great War type conflict that seemingly only you can fix, and you're fighting against a supreme leader, in quotes, who's got some real overt sort of Hitler-esque qualities, just not the racism and anti-Semitism. So he might be closer to Mussolini more than anything. I was about to try and click on the call to go to screenshots. What a dickhead. But it's a search action game, well, Metroidvania, but it's sort of World War One-ish with a bit of steampunkness to it. That health meter in the corner there is not how the health meter presents in game. This must be an earlier screen. I actually prefer that one because the one in game is just light globes. But it's got that sort of almost not quite Cuphead direct Fleischer style, but there's some inspiration from it, and it fucking looks awesome. There's a great style to it. I love the way it moves. It handles and feels really quite good to play. It's not as tight as Cuphead, but it's also not as brutally fuck you as Cuphead it was either. Yep. Because this isn't a boss rush. This is a Metroidvania. It's here, there are some places in the map. Go do them. Do this thing, and then you can win. Like, there are some rough elements in it, don't get me wrong. But it's not Cuphead. Which, yeah. It's sort of military-styled weapons, like you see in the screenshot here. It's basically like rifles, SMGs, stuff like that. There's a little bit of steampunkiness to it. It's largely electrical, so you get some weapons that can conduct electricity or shoot electricity and things like that. Seems to be a small team, so you can forgive some things a little bit in that context. But I had some pretty interesting bugs come up. I had at least a couple times against different enemies, particularly bosses. They just stop. Like, not attack, not nothing. And on the last boss, it did it, but I wasn't doing any damage to it. I was shooting it, and it was acting like it was hit, but it wasn't taking any damage to its health. So I had to restart that. I had a great one where just in between the big final sequence and the last sequence, I was using the D-pad to play it pretty much the entire game. For some reason, the D-pad inputs flipped. So pressing left would make me go right and vice versa. So I ended up having to do the very last section with the stick, which is really weird. I really enjoyed it for the most part. The penultimate area has some really frustrating puzzle mechanics that are based on timing and sort of handling some of the gadgets. Like, you get this sort of drone type gadget that when you're trying to fly in a normal circumstance, it's a bit of a bastard, but it's all right. You can make it work. When you're trying to do it in a time situation, it's like, fuck you. But yeah, I dug that. I don't think it'll end up on the top 10, but it's neat. It's good. Hey, look, Eric's home. What's that about? Moving on. Oh, wait, Split Fiction, same thing. Last thing. I ended up having a lot more games on here on the list originally, but based on the fact that A, it ended up being like 16 games, and B, a lot of the other games that I've taken off, I'd already played on video. So check the YouTube channel for that, because there's some really neat little things I ended up playing on some video. Deliver at all costs. Now, I noticed you haven't gone back to this.
Yeah, not because I don't like it. I've gone back to games literally till this week.
So, it's not that I don't like this. I want to make that clear. The driving and the act of driving and the exploration are so fucking fun. But what they get you to do with those mechanics in deliveries are not.
Yeah, I can get that. Yep.
Like, there are some missions that aren't too bad. Like the swordfish one or the marlin one wasn't too bad. I lost the marlin a couple times, but I ended up getting that okay. Can you remember if you did the watermelon one? That fucking annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's one I played in the demo, so I already knew what that was like when it came to play the real game. So I sort of knew. But the thing that you've got to be like, the thing with that, like as you said, the things they make you do in that game, because it's so physics based.
Yeah.
Well, that's entirely the premise is basically physics based. You can't Like normally in a game like that, you go around as fast as you can.
And it's fucking fun to do that when you're
fun.
exploring.
It's really good to do that. But when you're doing the delivery stuff, you basically got to stop doing that. I think that's where I find the disconnect between
Yeah.
the exploration and the missions, kind of quite the missions, is the problem because they're so different. You can just bomb around in the mission when you're not doing missions, but when you've got to do the missions, you've got to drive in a particular way to work with the physics of whatever you're going to try and do. And it does become a bit of the same one with the There's a fireworks one. You've probably already done that as well.
The fireworks one I didn't find as
too bad because it's not too bad. But yeah, the Marlin.
But the truck is hell flimsy too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like,
yeah, I think
the driving the export. I think I've got about 4 hours on this. Like I played it in one session, and about 2.5 to 3 hours of that were just the driving around, exploring, trying to find crates, doing the side missions that aren't they're not that well described, but they're fun. They're the fun ones. But like the delivery mission that fucked me off the most is when you get there's a seismograph delivery.
I haven't got that one yet. So
yeah, so there was. I won't mention my beef with that one, but the nature of the obstacles that it puts in your way.
I can imagine, in fact, you're transferring your seismograph. They're going to make it. I can see what they could do with that. That would be really annoying. So.
Yep, it sure was. That was the last straw. I was like, nah, fuck this. I don't like when they put the game into slow-mo when it's doing dialogue. Like at the start of missions in particular, you go to try and burn out and just start driving, and it gets real because it's doing the slow-mo for this real presentational vibe to it. But a couple times I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this thing? Forgetting it was in slow-mo. There's no explanation why Donovan's such a fucking asshole. Outside of, he just is. Or at least maybe there is later, but I'm not going to play enough of it to see it. I like Harold, the old guy, this old guy. He's a good egg. Donovan, this guy, fuck him. I really like the music. Like,
yeah, I think the presentation of the game is really, really top notch.
Yeah,
it is really, really good. Same with the precinct, the similar sort of, very similar.
It looks. I love the look of it. I love the handling model in the exploration and stuff like that. It's literally the mission design that drags it down for me.
Yeah,
that makes me not want to play it.
Which I get.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like presentationally is the writing.
I didn't mind it.
The balloon mission. Pretty much everyone you give a balloon to is basically like, fuck you, why have you brought me this?
Yeah, that's good.
And I was like, wait, why did I bring you this then if you don't like it?
I think that was the setup of the whole mission, so...
Yeah. Winston has a weird crash out after the earthquake as well. And, the part where, what's his name? Where is he? Norman. Accidentally sets the rocket off and fucks your roof up. There's a part where he just calls up Norman and goes, hey, Norman, about that roof. I was like, what? The first flashback, I don't know if you got to there was a flashback with the Winston's dad and a rifle.
Rings a vague bell, but yeah.
Yeah, that I didn't like that, but that obviously is reflective of the time period in which they're set. But the biggest one for me is that Norman's like, hey, you want to come over and eat? And Winston's like, who's cooking? Oh, don't be crazy. It's her. The wife's cooking. Oh, thank fuck, because your cooking sucks. And I'm like, hang on a second. When the fuck did you two even eat together? Like, there's no time where you've cooked it, unless it happens sort of off screen. But I will say, though, in Winston's apartment on the bath, there's a really neat rubber ducky that's wearing a hat and carrying a box. That's fucking cool as shit. But, yeah, I wish I liked the act of playing the campaign more.
Yeah.
That's the only thing weighing this down, but because, unfortunately, that's the bulk of the game.
That's the game, yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. It's a real shame because, fuck, so much about it is so cool.
Yeah.
But then they kind of, I don't want to say fuck it into the dirt. They have an idea of what they want to do with it. But there's a constant push-pull between this really fun driving physics engine they've got and this sort of delivery function where they're trying to there's almost a little bit of a wink and nod to the some Grand Theft Auto missions that get weird.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Unfortunately, that gets in the way.
I just think what they did is that they, as you said, they got this great mechanic, they got this great engine, whatever you want to call it. But instead of going to say 6 or 7, they went to 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And just pushed it too far. Not in terms of the engine can't cope with it, because it can.
Oh.
Just they made the missions unenjoyable to play.
Yeah.
But everything else, everything about it is, I think it's a really good, if you took that out of it, not that you can't.
Fucking A. To
can't.
me, if you leave the exploration and you have the side quests be your, but then why call it deliver at all costs? It makes no sense then.
Yeah. But if you can't, if they were scaled back a bit, that game would be a lot more fun to play for sure.
It is really funny. The very first side quest I ran into was a lady basically going, "Hey, have you seen my friend? He wears a big sombrero." I'm like, oh, okay. I couldn't fucking find him in the first map, so I had a bit of a look, and the internet was like, "Oh, go over to where the broken bridge is. You'll find him." Yeah, you fucking find him. He's standing in the middle of a fucked up bridge. It's like, hey, number one, how the fuck did you get here? Number two, you're just standing here hanging out.
The one side mission I had was, I don't know if you've done this too, was the mayor doppelganger one. Did you get that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a good one.
That was a good one. I like that one.
There is one side quest that's sort of delivery-ish in nature where you, on the boardwalk, you run into this fucking clown. And he's like, this car's haunted. It does shit on its own. Take it, drive it into the fucking volcano. But that, even though the car was doing some weird shit on its own, which it was supposed to, that was actually really amusing. Bums me out a little bit, but I wish I could deliver at no cost. Moving on. Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah, excellent.
Plenty of video up on the YouTube from the holiday hangouts and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, some stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot that I'm still hosting. So that's basically what we've played. I reckon we could probably take it through the beginning and the end, just quietly.
We can.
How about we do that?
Yep.
Alrighty then, youtube.com/@shouldIPlayThisGame64 is where the YouTube stuff is. Twitch.tv/EnemyStarship is where I do my fun time streams. Friday and Saturday for now, because I'm back at work. So we'll be starting at 4 on Friday, this coming Friday. And then Graham stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Quickly mention, I actually had another game. I did play a bit more of that Nice Day for Fishing. Played that a bit more.
Oh yeah, I saw that pop up.
I forgot to add that to my list, but yeah, I went. I think I'll probably get close to doing some Solar Factory stuff soon. I think.
Oh.
We'll see how that's going, but that's looking like that's getting back to a point where I could probably start playing it. But yeah, I think I might not. I'll probably play other stuff first, get that out of the way with, just in case I go into another time sink with Satisfactory and end up
fall down a Satisfactory hole.
Another hole and play for another 500 hours, which yeah. But it's probably on the card the next month or so. I suspect I'll probably get back to it.
So then next Sunday we'll be recording more Split Fiction, probably.
Yeah, we might do some other checkouts, but yeah, we can either do that. We'll do some.
There's that too.
There'll be something next week. Put it that way.
There will be stuff.
Non-podcast stuff next week.
Yes, very much so.
From the podcast together. Yep.
And I got nothing else. New Psycho Frame album this week, Graham. Yes. Anyway, that's the only music thing I'm going to mention because it's not out yet. But fuck me, am I looking forward to that. I got nothing else.
All right, cool.
Should we end it?
Your call.
If it's my call, then let's keep talking for another 4 hours. No. You'll just go, fuck you, turn the switch off.
Yeah,
fuck
exactly. Even though it's your call, I've still got more power than you do.
Thanks,
See ya.
bye.
Bye.